Okay, so welcome to Slow Flow. If you have, again, blocks, grab them, pillow, grab that. And then whatever one of your softer props are, so pillow or blanket, fold the blanket, fold the pillow. I'm gonna fold my pillow in half here. And then find a comfy seat sitting on that pillow. Can be legs crossed. It can be stacking the heels in front of each other, whatever feels comfortable for you. So I want the pose to be able for you to sit upright. And then close the eyes. Can let the palms face down or face up. Again, eyes are closed. And just really take those deep breaths. Take this moment as you sit here getting settled into your pose. Take the time to breathe in through the nose and out the mouth. So really kind of letting go of anything that you're holding on to. This is a great time. Silence the phone, silence all the technology. Maybe put, don't put earplugs in, then you couldn't hear me, but really silence anything that's gonna distract you. Take those breaths. And I'm going to encourage you again, eyes closed. While you sit here breathing, I am going to read a short little passage from The Secret Power of Yoga. Nishala Joydevi is the author. And this is a woman's guide to the heart and spirit of the Yoga Sutras. So as you sit here breathing, really again, focusing in on my voice, focusing in on breathing in and out. Super simple. Breathing in and out, not holding the breath. And again, your seat should be comfortable enough that you're able to hold it. So again, comfy seat, breathing in and out, and then just listening to this short little passage. Yoga Sutra 33 from Book 2. When presented with disquieting thoughts or feelings, cultivate an opposite, elevated attitude. This is Pratipaksha Bhavana. This is one of my favorite sutras because it helps to change my attitude rather than hoping to change the situation or the people who cause me to be unhappy. It is a key practice that enables us to remain in harmony, balanced, and open-hearted. Pratipaksha offers the option of cultivating the opposite thoughts, feelings, and actions. Bhavana is the Sanskrit root of our English verb to be. Together, they encourage us to reserve our attitude, to embrace a noble way of being. I'm gonna reference back to some of the passages in here as we kind of take some of our restorative postures towards the end of the practice. So bring the palms together at heart center, still breathing in and out, eyes still closed. And just take a moment to reflect on your week so far. Notice if, as the days went on, as we're in our homes more and more, were there any moments where, you had these thoughts come up? Maybe they were negative thoughts towards another person, negative thoughts towards yourself, negative thoughts towards this entire situation that our world is in. And notice where those negative thoughts took you. I'm going to encourage you not to judge those negative thoughts, but just observe what they were. And then just take this moment now, whatever negative thoughts came up, choose now, at this moment, as we move through our practice, that allow your body to move in the direction of more positive thoughts. So there are times when, yes, it is hard to cultivate positive affirmations, positive feelings, thoughts. Absolutely. There are days when it's almost impossible. But I'm inviting you during this practice to work towards those positive thoughts, to move through your body and to work through those feelings. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands, open the eyes. Come off of your pillow or blanket, whatever you were sitting on. Place that to the side. We'll need it later. And then come on into tabletop pose. So again, it's a yin-yang style practice. And we're going to start with the yang. So moving a little bit that feels juicy and feels able to be kind of sweet on the body and allow you to get a little movement in the spine before we hold steady in a few postures. So tabletop pose, hands shoulder distance apart, knees hip distance apart, and don't overthink it today. If your hands are slightly forward or knees are slightly back or wider, just come into your tabletop. And then I want you to let your hips sink back towards your heels, stretching the arms long in front. And then as you inhale, come forward, take your right hip over towards the right. Let it drop over to the right. Feel that stretch. And then exhale, hips move back toward the heels. Inhale, as you lift, let the left hip go over towards the left. Feel that stretch. And then hips back to center. So moving with your breath. Inhale brings you forward to the right. Exhale takes you back. Inhale brings you forward to the left. Exhale takes you back. So move at your own breath pace. I'm going to encourage you to move nice and slow. Again, moving with that breath. Few more on each side. Again, as you breathe with your inhale, that's when the hips come forward into one of the sides. And then the exhale is what moves the hips back towards your heels. So again, we started in tabletop, and now we're taking kind of these side-to-side hip movements. Continue to breathe, still moving side to side. It should start to feel nice on those hips. I know for myself, I'm feeling a good stretch on the outside of the hip. And one more on each side. So inhale to come forward to the right. Exhale, send the hips back. And then inhale forward to the left. And exhale back. Good. Find the child's pose. So widen the knees a little, bring the big toes together, stretch the arms forward, forehead to the mat, and just breathe here for a moment. And then inhale, come on back up to tabletop. So for this one, I'm going to encourage the big toes to touch, knees to be about hips distance or a little wider, just a slight different variation of tabletop. And for this one, we are going to start again with the hips back towards the heels. For our table, we're going to do some cat-cows, but it's going to look a little different. It's going to feel a lot slower, and these movements are really going to get into your spine, and I want you to feel like you're a sponge and you're soaking up all of that positive movement that your body is doing. So let your chin come towards your chest. You're going to round the spine, inhale to come forward, and then exhale, arch the spine, hips move back to the starting position. So inhale, round the spine, shift forward, exhale, arch the spine, hips back. So moving kind of in a wave-like action, moving with your breath. And it's up to you how fast and slow you go, but I'm going to encourage you to move at that slower pace. Try to lengthen your breath. Really find that deeper breathing. And make this movement, again, about a positive change in your body. Few more. Again, as you inhale, you round the spine to come forward, and exhale, you arch the spine to move back. Few more. Nice and slow. One more. Hips move back towards the heels. So changing up the movement a little, same wave-like action. This time when you inhale, you're gonna arch the spine, let your elbows even bend, pull the chest forward as you arch, and then exhale, round the spine to go back to that start. So inhale, bend the elbows, pull the chest forward, arch, exhale, round, and go back. Keep moving with your breath. Keep moving. Two more. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to move back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Hold the child's pose. Maybe even bend the elbows a little so you really can find softness here. Widen the knees apart. Let your head really rest in. I'm going to even move my glasses out of the way so I can rest my head. Just allow all of that movement that we just took with our tabletop variations and waving motion. Let it really sink in. So stay in your child's pose for another breath or two. Really, again, think of yourself as this sponge, and the sponge is only going to soak in positive thoughts, feelings, and actions. On your next inhale, bring yourself back up to tabletop. Walk the hands forward, about 2 or 3 hand planks. Move the knees back slightly. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Let your knees be bent. So downward facing dog, knees bent. Breathe here. Lengthen your spine. Feel the vertebrae lengthening. Feel the arms and armpits lengthening. And then slowly you can begin to straighten the legs. But only straighten to the point where you're able to keep that length in your legs and your belly. Breathe here. Inhale, come onto your toes. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Come to the top of your mat. Feet hips distance apart. Bend the knees. Grab opposite elbows. Head heavy. Maybe giving a little shake side to side. Just a little sway, just a little movement. And then release the arms down. Inhale to lift halfway. Knees can stay bent. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to take a few Surya A's, nothing fast, nice and slow. I'm even going to encourage no chaturanga. So again, this is a slow flow where we're moving through our body in this flowing motion right now for our yang practice. And then we're going to end with some yin postures. So stand tall at the top of your mat, arms on either side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step it back, plank, and then lower down to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. It should be a low enough cobra that if you lift your hands, you're able to keep your chest lifted. Replant the hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Inhale to lift up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step it forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Release the arms down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant palms. Plank to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Maybe lift the hands. Place hands down. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Hold. Hold and breathe. Inhale, lift up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step it forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Release the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale, half lift. Plant your palms. Inhale for plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Hold the baby cobra this time. Pull the shoulders back away from the ears. Hug the elbows in. Tops of feet, press them down. Maybe lift a little higher. Hold. Exhale, make your way down. So, for this next one that we're gonna take, we are gonna slow it down even more. So I know we didn't go to our down dog. That's okay. Okay, keep staying in that positive space. We are gonna take I call it like a sleeping frog, but it's like instead of a full frog pose, we're gonna do half frog. So on your belly, come up onto your forearms, and you won't stay on the forearms, I promise. So legs together, and then you're gonna bend your right knee, slide it out to the right, and then start with the knee coming straight out from your right hip. Flex the right foot, plant that foot so it's coming straight up from the knee. So you got a 90-degree bend. Boop, boop. The more you slide the right knee out towards the right, the closer the pelvis and that groin is gonna get a stretch. If you don't want that, keep the knee in more. It'll keep that hip lifted, okay? We are gonna hold this for about a minute. So choose where you wanna be. And then I'm going to encourage you to come down onto your chest. You can rest your hands in front of you so you can rest your head. You can turn the neck so that your gaze is away from the right side, getting a twist. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. So choose what you want with your arms. Choose what you want with your head. And then close the eyes and breathe. So for the next 30 seconds, if you would like to deepen this stretch, this hold, you're gonna keep flexing that right foot and you can bring that right leg so it's straightened out to the side. Okay? If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. It's not in your body right now, and that's totally fine. And then 30-second hold here.
Gently rebend that right knee if it's straightened. And then everybody's gonna slide that right leg. Slide it back. Okay, so left side, and I'm gonna turn myself, excuse me, so that way you can see it from the side angle. So, on your belly, come up on your forearms to start. Legs behind you. Left knee bends, bring it out. Knee, align with the hip. Flex the foot, bring the foot in line with the knee. 90-degree bend. Choose what you would like to do with your arms. Bring yourself down onto your chest. Rest here. Close the eyes. For another 30 seconds, if you want to straighten that leg out, see that the foot comes straight out from the hip, so straighten leg. And again, still resting here. If you're in the sleeping frog variation, great. If you have the leg extended, wonderful. Don't over push it, and hold here. Rebend that left knee, bringing the foot back in, and then release that leg down. Press yourself back to child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide. Again, child's pose. From your child's pose, press into your hands so that you can bring yourself upright. So for this next one, you might need the pillow and your block. We are going to take a wide-legged forward fold, but we're going to start with the twist. I'm going to tell you this. I've been practicing yoga for a while. I can tell you it still feels good to have the blanket or pillow behind you, sitting up on the pillow, and then straightening open the legs. So as you straighten your legs wide apart, have a block nearby. Don't go so wide that you're not able to hold. We are going to be holding, taking a little twist. And if you are sitting here and you are not able to be upright, then you need to raise your hips up more. So that might mean folding your pillow in half. Maybe it's putting the block and the pillow and the blanket. Lift yourself up so that you can be comfortable. You should be able to kind of softly flex your feet here. Again, we're going to be holding this, so, I don't want you to over-exaggerate the flexing and pressing thighs down. I want you just kind of to hold in here so that you can feel the benefit through the hamstrings and the hips. So, starting here, fingertips in front of you, sitting up tall. And you can either have a soft gaze at the floor or close the eyes. But we're going to start legs wide, supported hips, fingertips in front, close eyes or soft gaze. Hold here. Breathe in and out through your nose. I know that this hip posture, especially because it's hips and hamstrings,
can bring a lot of emotions up? Can you let yourself stay as that positive sponge, soak up the positive thoughts? Whatever negative thoughts try to weave their way in, don't force them away, but instead let those negative thoughts turn into positives. So use your attitude to change those negative thoughts. Breathe here. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Open the eyes if they're closed, and then walk your hands over towards your left leg. You want both hands on either side of the left leg. And just as you twist from the belly first. Don't force the chest, just to twist. And you might just keep yourself aligned with that left leg. That's fine. If you want the twist in the neck, you can gaze gently over that left shoulder. Again, don't strain the twist, don't force the twist. Again, we're holding for about a minute, so I want you to be able to hold the posture and not be in pain. See if you can just lengthen your spine a little bit more as you take the twist. And again, gaze can be over that left shoulder. Eyes open or closed. Breathe in and out. Go ahead, bring your self back to center, and then walk your hands over to the right leg. So again, hands are framing the leg on either side. And you're just gonna slightly begin to twist from your belly, then the shoulders, maybe the gaze. And again, you're sitting upright, legs are still extended. Breathe here, in and out through the nose. Eyes opened or closed. See if you can lengthen that spine a little more as you twist. Gently come back to center. And then find that block or an extra prop. If you don't have an extra block, totally fine. Technically, for this next one, you don't have to have it. If you have your block, just set it out a little further in front of you. Come onto your fingertips, and then for just a moment, flex your feet like crazy, press your thighs down, really feel the activation in your legs, and now kind of let them just hang there. If they fall back a little, it's okay. If they fall forward a little, it's okay. Just let your legs kind of be there. And then I want you to think about lengthening your spine and walking the fingertips forward. Take some deep breaths. Move into this forward fold slowly. So if this is your first time ever taking a forward fold with your legs wide, I'm going to encourage you, stay up on your hands. Keep the arms long. Maybe you take this fairly regularly and you're able to get into it a little deeper. You've got a block. You could bring your forearms to the block.
long spine still. Maybe a lower block, maybe onto the floor. Wherever you're at, long spine. And if you're able to go straight on down to the floor with your chest, wonderful. Keep that long spine. And again, everybody, don't overflex your feet. Let them just hang. Let your legs be there. Holding here for about 2 minutes. If you heard that crack and pop in my neck, feel free if you want to move your neck a little bit. For me, I felt a little tightness, so feel free to move your neck if you need to. Again, as you're holding here in the forward fold, you're breathing in and out. You have a long spine, and your legs are just kind of hanging out. Your hips are just hanging out in this posture. Breathe. Deep breaths here. Few more minutes. Sorry, a few more seconds. In your forward fold, gently walk your hands back in. Can move whatever props you had out of the way. And then bring your hands behind your knees. Gently bend your legs. Walk them in. And then come off of that prop that you're sitting on. Move it to the side. Turn yourself so that you are facing a short edge of your mat if you're not already. Bring the soles of feet together, knees wide. Peace fingers around your big toes. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale to fold in. As you fold, you can use your elbows to give a little press of your legs down, but don't force it. Keep the spine as long as you can, for as long as you can. And then fold into your depth. Let your head rest. If you have a block and you want a block to rest your forehead on, you can. Just drop in here, holding your Supta Baddha Konasana. Apologies, I mean Baddha Konasana. Supta would be on your back. Inhale to come back up. Keep the soles of feet together. Release your hands. Bring them behind you. And now we'll take the Supta Baddha Konasana. So shift your hips a little closer towards your heels. Bring yourself all the way onto your back. And then I'm going to encourage you, because we're only holding for about a minute or so, no need to support your legs. Let them just kind of naturally open as they do. If you want a deep stretch and open, you want your heels, walk them in closer towards your perennial, soles of feet pressed together. If you're like, nope, I just want it to be nice and relaxing, feet, widen them further away from your perennial. So choose what you would like. I think I want a little bit more of a stretch. And then options for arms can be on the side, overhead. What would feel best for you? And then deep breaths. Let the weight of your legs open your hips. How long
long and deep can you make your breath? Few more breaths here. Breathe in and out. Everyone, stretch the arms up overhead. Full length with your arms. And then slowly kind of walk the feet further away from you and then bring the knees in towards one another. And then walk them out long. Take a nice full body stretch. Maybe point. And then flex the feet. And then maybe point again. And then bend the knees. Hug them into your chest. However way you want to make it to being upright, do so. And then I'm going to encourage you to find your block, whatever that hard item is. It might be a book. It might be a blanket folded several times. Watch for this next part. So we are going to take a supported shoulder stand. If that's just not in your books today, you have a wall nearby, bring your legs up the wall. That is completely fine. For legs up the wall, I'm just going to encourage a pillow or a soft blanket underneath the hips. For supported shoulder stand, you want something more solid. And I'm going to even encourage for supported shoulder stand on the lowest setting for today. So watch me for a moment so you know how to set this up. Have your block right beside you. You're going to lie down with knees bent, similar to bridge pose. Gaze is up at the ceiling. Lift the hips, slide that block underneath. Okay? Set that up. Find the kind of, for your body, the perfect setting. And then nice and easy, one knee bends and comes in, then the other, and then you slide your legs up. Now, if this is overworking your hamstrings, just a slight bend to knees, and you can still be in the supported shoulder stand. You can shimmy the shoulders underneath you, and then turn palms up, and this will lift your chest, and again, it's like sliding the shoulder blades under and really coming into that more shoulder stand. Wherever you're at, whether you're going to take legs up the wall or support a shoulder stand, I'm going to encourage you to close your eyes and just breathe. So decide what you would like to take. Legs up the wall, support a shoulder. Choose where you want to go. And like I said, I want to weave back in some of these beautiful teachings about Pratipaksha Bhavana. So get on into your posture. Close the eyes. Let your breath deepen. Again, Yoga Sutra 33 from Book 2. When presented with disquieting thoughts or feelings, cultivate an opposite, elevated attitude. This is Pratipaksha Bhavana. Daily life presents us with a plethora of frustrations and challenges. Our hopes is that as our consciousness blossoms, life's trails will ease. It is not always the case. Often the situations that were previously endured gracefully affect us more. With clarity, we realize that changing the situation may not be possible. Rather, we see that changing our attitude allows peace to blossom. Take a few more breaths here. Breathing in and out. And just before you move, listen to what I'm going to say. If you have legs up the wall and you want to stay there, stay there. Those of you on the block in supported shoulder stand, come out of that gently so your feet come back down to the ground. Lift your hips up off of the block and you remove the block. You have the choice, legs up the wall or Shavasana. So, legs up wall or Shavasana. Choose where you want to go, settle in. If you take a regular Shavasana, to kind of give a little grounding to your hips, I'm going to encourage you, if you have a pillow or a blanket, lay it on top of your hips. Wherever you're at, let your breath become as neutral as it can be, just flowing in and out of the body. Let your eyes gently close. Wherever you're at, palms up. And again, holding here in your final posture. And I'm going to give you one little bit more offering from this book. I love this sutra, and I think it's perfect for slow flow, and I think it's perfect for the time that we're in right now. So take a deep breath through your nose. Exit out your mouth, and then close the mouth. Let your breath again become neutral. When presented with disquieting thoughts or feelings, cultivate an opposite, elevated attitude. This is Pratipaksha Bhavana. We may stubbornly hold the belief that others cause our problems and inconveniences. In those situations, we may appoint ourselves as their teachers to show them the correct way to act. From that attitude, our egos enlarge, leaving us with less room for insight. If you routinely feel it is other person's fault, take another look, this time from a different perspective. Pratipaksha Bhavana is a simple and direct way of keeping our minds calm and our hearts open. How often during the day do unwanted thoughts or feelings pop up to disturb your calm? Some days there might be too many to count. When we are aware of these unfavorable attitudes before they manifest into word or action, we retain the power to reverse them. Do you feel fear? Cultivate courage. Anger? Cultivate love. Try substituting not just a word, but a whole scene or action. Perhaps you are in the midst of social distancing. Maybe you're in the midst of being home with the coronavirus. Maybe you are an introvert and you are forced now to be around people 24/7. Instead of blaming another person, instead of cultivating negative thoughts and feelings and actions, reverse that. Find the positive.
If you need to, change the entire scenario. Like a sponge as you breathe, breathe in the positivity through your movement, through your shavasana, through your breath. Soak in the positive. And if a little bit of negative seeps in, instead of pushing that negative away, pushing it back out from the soaking in, allow that negative thought to come in and transform into positive. Take a few more breaths here in your shavasana. Wherever you are at, bend your knees a little and then roll onto your right side. Pause on your right side. Take a moment to be grateful for your practice, for your slow flow. And then using your hands, press them into the ground to come up to a comfortable seat. Once you have found your comfortable seat, palms together, thumbs at the breastbone. We'll take a cleansing breath and then we'll end with a single Om. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale to Om. The light in me honors and recognizes the light within you. I'm sending you positive vibes, and I hope that you are doing the same. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.